Hello everyone, welcome to yet another episode of DIMFF Presents Cine'ta, powered by DIMFF. I am your host Hamim Shafiq, and today we have with us the CEO of Brandsmith IMCL, Mr. Wafi Aziz Sattar, who is also the former CEO of DIMFF. So without any further ado, let's get started. Hello sir.
Hello.
First of all, I would like to thank you for sponsoring us to this event, and also I would like to thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you very much.
So sir, আপনি যদি ফার্স্টে আমাদেরকে Brandsmith IMCL এর ব্যাপারে কিছু বলতেন।
So Brandsmith IMCL is an integrated marketing communication agency. We don't like to use the word 360 because it's been overused, but we are pretty much that. So we offer all kinds of services related to marketing and communication in Bangladesh, and that includes traditional and digital marketing. The team consists of very young people, mostly fresh college graduates, and it's run by me and my father, who has actually been in the industry for over 50 years. So we are an amalgamation of young and experienced people, bringing the best to the world.
Great, sir. Sir, also I would like to know যে আপনি আগে হচ্ছে একজন টিচার ছিলেন, ফ্যাকাল্টি ছিলেন of a university. So from being a faculty to joining the corporate world. So sir, a transition ব্যাপারে যদি একটু
So basically I was a part of the corporate world for the longest time, and then I switched to academia because I felt like when I could see this যে আমাদের actual corporate world, most of those people young people coming in, joining, lacked proper skills. So they have the idea, they have the theoretical idea, but they do not know how to apply it in the real world, and I could see there was a problem there. So then I wanted to change that. And that's the reason why I switched over to academia for a while. I had my good time over there, and then I decided it's time to switch back. But my journey is not done yet with academia. And I actually hire my students, my former students. So that's how I work.
So are you still interested to going into that academia sector?
I never left and I never will leave.
Great, sir. Sir, I also would like to know যে আপনার মোবাইল ফিল্ম মেকিং ইন্ডাস্ট্রির ব্যাপারে আর হচ্ছে এই সেক্টরটার ব্যাপারে যদি কি আইডিয়া আছে
আচ্ছা so you know a cell phone or a mobile phone, it's a blessing to mankind, it's also a curse. So the way I see it is মোবাইলের সবচেয়ে বড় স্ট্রেংথটা হচ্ছে কিন্তু জার্নালিজমে, right? To be able to tell a story when you have access to no other equipment. মানে এই একটা ফোনের মধ্যে আমার মাইক্রোফোন আছে, এই একটা ফোনের মধ্যেই আমার ডিভাইসের মধ্যে আমার ক্যামেরা আছে, রাইট? You never know how many Einsteins were there in the world. It's just that Einstein kind of got his opportunity, got lucky in life, and the same way it goes for a lot of genius people we tend to like and worship. But you know, there could be an Einstein in the slum. You never know. You know, or they might not be able to afford a proper education, but they may have the vision. Right. The same goes with filmmaking. You know, people that we absolutely admire and people that we follow. True Lies, কে বানিয়েছিল ফিল্মটা? Avatar, কে বানিয়েছিল ফিল্মটা? Who was the director?
I'm not sure, sir.
James Cameron, right?
Yeah.
Do you know James Cameron was a truck driver?
No, sir.
James Cameron was a truck driver. So James Cameron was a truck driver, and then he made his own break, and it was very hard for him. Now understand, making a break for someone with so much talent was very hard back in the days. But now you have a device like a mobile phone, and most mobile phones are decent. And then you have apps that can help you edit. You can make short films. You can put them up on YouTube. You can apply to different film festivals such as Dhaka International Mobile Film Festival by ULAB, right? And you can get your break, you can get recognized. People will see your movies. Don't প্রতিভাটা জানবে. You can get producers to help you out. So why not? I think it's a brilliant thing that everybody has access to cell phones to make films the way they want to make.
So sir, Brandsmith IMCL এর জার্নিটার ব্যাপারে যদি আমাদেরকে কিছু বলতেন।
Well, so after I left teaching, I wanted to help another company out, which is the DIMFF, right? So I was there for a little while, but administratively speaking, it didn't seem feasible because the office was in Baridhara. So for someone who lives in Dhaka South to travel to Dhaka North every single day is a nightmare. And furthermore, you know, the entire team, the talent was mine. It was all my people, right? So for them to travel there was it was hard on them. So it was kind of like an issue for them as well. And I'm the sort of person who believes that কাজের সাথে কিন্তু মেন্টাল পিসের খুব জরুরি একটা দরকার আছে। সো যদি আমার রাস্তায় প্রত্যেকদিন 5 ঘন্টা কাটে and then কাজে আবার 8 ঘন্টা, that's just unreasonable. So that was one of the biggest reasons for me to decide to switch to Dhaka South. And since it was not my company, travel is one of the biggest reasons. Another second is autonomy, to have full control, right? I mean, this is like a myth, and I want to speak out to all the young entrepreneurs and filmmakers and advertisers and marketing professionals and any kind of business that you have. You don't always have to have Gulshan Baidhar Barney to office thaka lagbe na. When you get to a position where you're comfortable and you have enough to support your administrative costs, feel free to move there, but initially you don't have to. One of the biggest myths I heard was that, আমাদের সব client রা এখানে. I know of pretty big agencies who have been there around 50, 60 years, 60 years, I'm sorry, 50 plus years, and তাদের অফিস কিন্তু আগে ছিল হচ্ছে গিয়ে নর্দার্ন কলোনি, Asiatic was Northern Colony, right? I think Shantinagar ছিল গিয়ে Matra, right? So, these are huge agencies, right? They're very old. And do you think they always started in big places?
No, sir.
No, they did not, right? So, my point is, either ways, we visit the clients anyways. So why have such a high administrative cost? Why sacrifice our personal lives for some times and not be at peace and then also report to someone else? Why don't I do it myself? Because I'm the brains. So that's when I decided to switch over so that I can relax and my folks can relax, and I still have the same team. And we still offer better services, more services because we are more at peace. Yeah. So that's how it actually started. We wanted more autonomy and more peace, calm, and close to home.
ওকে স্যার। সো আমরা কি স্যার তাহলে এটা বলতে পারি যে DIMFF Cine'টার এই সিজনটা হচ্ছে বেসিক্যালি powered by the brains of Brandsmith IMCL?
Yeah, you can say it's powered by the brains of Brandsmith IMCL, because when Cine'ta first came to me when I was in the Team B and they had asked if we could sponsor, I said sure, because it's a great platform, right? So yeah, I mean, legally speaking, the Team B, but in terms of brain, it's the current Brandsmith team, yeah, sure.
Sir, my next questions would be basically আপনি যদি আমাদের young filmmakers, then young entrepreneurs and upcoming filmmakers দের জন্য যদি কিছু বলতেন।
All I can say is basically, don't stop making films, right? If you have the passion and heart for it, don't stop making films. You're going to make lots of dumb mistakes. The world is an oyster. You have everything in your hands. You have the most powerful tool in your hand, which is a cell phone, right? A mobile phone. When I started filmmaking, I mean, look, this little thing has everything. It has camera, it has microphone, it has everything, as I said. It even has apps that can edit. When I started filmmaking, because my minor was media and film, and then master's was in filmmaking as well, right? When I started media and film, when studying media and film, I had to buy HD camera, 1080 তে shoot করে. And then I had to join a community of filmmakers. তখন তো Facebook এরকম communities ছিল না, because Facebook was starting off, mid-2000s, early mid-2000s. We had forums, online forums. So online forumগুলোতে message board গিয়ে we connected with people. There was like this person who started his little company. I think his name is Jegua Garcia. So for Jack 35 শুরু করছে, which is basically they make equipments for cameras, and I had ordered my first adapter from him, and then I had to order my second adapter from a guy in Italy. তারা নিজেরা কিন্তু এগুলা বানায় বিক্রি করতো. What was this? So তখন কিন্তু আমাদের সবকিছু হচ্ছে কি 60i তে শুট হচ্ছে, 50i তে শুট হচ্ছে, ঠিক আছে? So 60, 50 তে frames per second শুট হচ্ছে দেখে সমস্যা যেটা হয়ে গেছিল, you did not get the cinematic feel. So we would make adapters that would allow you এইসব হ্যান্ডিক্যামগুলোতে আমাদের লেন্সগুলা লাগানোর জন্য, ক্যামেরার লেন্সগুলা, ম্যানুয়াল লেন্সেস, right? And then we could get control of the depth of field and all. Otherwise you didn't have access to this, because filmmaking cameras were very expensive and DSLRs did not have the capability to shoot. So we had to convert. আমাদের দেখা যেত যে আমাদের এক একজনের $1500-2000 করে পকেট থেকে বের হয়ে যেতেছে, হ্যাঁ? And as a student at that time it was very hard. But we did, and we would make these little funny films. কারণ আশেপাশে কেউ নাই, because আমাদের film equipment-এর পিছিয়ে যে খরচ গেছে ভাড়া নেওয়া যায় না এইসব, right? Film equipment-এর পিছিয়ে যে খরচ গেছে, we don't have a crew kind of thing, right? If you guys go on YouTube, you guys and girls, if you go on YouTube and search for films, independent films from the early 2000s, you would understand what I'm saying. But filmmaking has become so much easier now. There was this whole movement, when Wong Kar-wai, Wong Kar-wai actually basically influenced a lot of people, right? Especially in Southeast Asia. And যখন হচ্ছে Canon 550D বের হলো, we were like, oh my god, yes, we can finally make films. Right? It's much easier. We just have one camera with a kit lens, but you know what? We can do it, right? I had a Sony A77, and that was my life. So, Southeast Asia, they started using DSLRs a lot, and that gave rise to independent filmmakers, and nobody talks about it. It's really funny that universities talk about mobile filmmaking, universities talk about independent filmmaking, but they never talk about how this happened, how the explosion happened. Not everybody was born with a 35 millimeter. Not everybody was born lucky. Even Steven Spielberg had his father's 8mm or 10mm, ছোটবেলা থেকে সে ট্রেন crash করতেছেন, ওগুলা বানাচ্ছে, but he was lucky his father could afford it. Not everyone could afford it. So this rise happened, and no one talks about how this took place, when this took place, but this should be taught. Just the same way we are learning that everyone can use mobile to make films, and it is much easier to do it now because of cell phones. So I think it's a great opportunity for all to get into filmmaking. If they want, they can just become a filmmaker. Not everyone has to see your film. It doesn't have to be in every festival, but if it gives you peace, do it.
Sir, do you view mobile filmmaking as the global filmmaking?
I consider it a global filmmaking practice, if that's what you mean. I mean, there's various methods of filmmaking. It's a mode, a method of making films. Yeah. But I do see it on the rise, and I hope people continue, because as I just said during the last question, that it opens up avenues for everyone to give it a shot. Back in the days, not everyone could have done it, made films, but now they can. So why not? I mean, I know for a fact there was something called Windows Movie Maker, right? And the first movies I ever made were stop motion animation. And I made that using foil paper. Like, it would open up, and there would be like letters inside, and they would jumble up. But I had to make stop motion animation because I didn't have a video camera. What I did have was, I would borrow my father's 2 megapixel Sony, I don't remember what it was, but it was Cybershot. It was a Sony Cybershot 2 megapixel camera, and I would just take pictures like that, and I would just keep changing it, and then I would add it to Movie Maker, and I would change the frames, pretty much. But now imagine that. Now you have a camera in your hand, and you can shoot it easy and edit it on the phone. So yeah, it's a medium, it's a method, it's for all. So everyone should at least give it a try.
Sir, also আপনি হচ্ছে আমাদের এই সিজনের যে স্পন্সর ছিল LaTeamB. So are you guys willing to sponsor in our next upcoming season? Like current running season 8 and season 8, season 9. Well, since 9 is my favorite number, sure, I'll sponsor. Thank you so much, sir. So basically that was the purpose of our show, of this episode.
Just to come to me and get a sponsor.
Definitely, sir.
I quit. All right, thank you very much for coming, and
thank you.
Best of luck with Cine'ta.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir, for coming. Thank you, everyone. So this was basically the last episode of our season 8, and thank you everyone for being with us, and we hope to see you all in our upcoming season. This is me, Hamim Shafiq, signing off.